today's video, aka this week's video, we decided to do a video we were going to do on our other channel once we got a little further along, but we decided to do it on this channel since obviously, you know, our fur child ruined my laptop, so it's no longer a thing. So today's video, we're just going to tell you how we met and kind of like our love story of how we got to being engaged and married, and here we are. To begin with, we were talking before we started recording. Yes, I'm using this as a pointer. Yes, I am. And I was like, man, I really wish I remember the year that we met. And he said,
yeah, I'm pretty sure it was around 2011, 2012, because that was whenever I first came back to Independence after moving back from Kansas City.
But to start this, he's gonna have to explain how he even came into my picture.
So, as you guys may or may not know, my wife's brother is my best friend. Has been for about 10, 15 years now.
Since middle school.
Since middle school. It was around 2011, 2012. One of those years. I had just moved back from Kansas City after moving to Kansas City from Independence. And
that's something him and I very much have in common, is moving around a lot.
I always moved.
Us was more so when we were in like elementary school. We went to a lot of different elementary schools.
There was one day where I got reacquainted with said best friend.
We'll insert a picture here of said best friend. You've seen him probably on my personal channel because we used to do videos together all the time. I think everyone's favorite on my personal channel was us doing the Bean Boozled challenge, because that was a thing back then. It was disgusting. I'll never do it again.
I would never do that.
I've tried to get him to do it, but he's like, nah,
no,
man, nope.
No.
That's basically the beginning of how he came into the picture. So I decided how this is going to work. We're going to do like POVs, like how I remember us meeting from my point of view and how he remembers it. So again, like he said, it's back in 2011. I'm like 12 or 12. One of the two. It's close-ish. All right. And so from my point of view, I remember it vividly, obviously, because the love of my life. At the time, I'm 12 or 13, super obsessed with Justin Bieber. That spot's still in my heart, don't get it wrong.
Sorry about the yawning. Long day at work today.
And so I remember my brother leading the pack, basically, of just a big group of boys through our living room. And he's like, hey, these are my friends. And like they all went down the line, like introducing themselves. And then it got to my husband. And he's like, and I quote, I'm Cortez. I like to draw and I love music. And from there I was like, oh, you are the love of my life. And of course, like I'm 12 or 13, so I don't know what love really is, but I'm just like, I definitely have a crush on you. And so I did what any other 13-year-old girl would do, and I figured out his last name and put it together with mine, and it worked. Little did I know it actually would work. Actually. And so that was my POV of us meeting. How was it for you? Oh, let me add in my favorite thing of this. When he introduced himself and we locked eyes, I swear I had that movie moment where it was just us two, tunnel vision. And I swear that moment we both knew we were going to somehow end up together. So that's my POV from when we first met. What's yours? Your experience?
It was pretty much the same, but, you know, I was around the boys.
Yeah, to be all cool and chill.
Yeah.
What was your first impression of me? Obviously, I'm underage at this point, so like we didn't make any moves. He was
both underage. I was like 15, 16.
Still older than me, and my dad would have probably.
Yes,
both
he
of
would
us.
have.
But what was your first impression of me?
I thought you were cute.
But I remember you saying this. I was cute, but you were my brother's sister. basically, my best friend's sister. So that's literally the beginning of like how we met. And then just from then on, this boy was basically at our house. I don't know how my dad never caught on to me liking him. Sorry for the jingles, it's my bracelet. But
jingle, 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 jingle.
jingle, jingle, jingle.
But it was about,
tingle,
tingle, off.
Ever see this video, but Okay, anyways, so whenever he was over, you would typically find me like this with him. And again, for like...
And
vice versa, yeah. For like 9 years, my dad never knew I liked him. Had like no idea, even though I was literally always somehow finding my way to my brother's room and next to him. And so, obviously we're underage, so we're not going to date. We're not going to do anything because, one, that's weird, and two, my parents had boundaries when it came to me dating.
We didn't technically date until high school.
We'll get to that. That's the story in itself. Yeah. So we just started building a friendship first and foremost because that's what we were allowed to do for the longest time. So we kind of went the cliche route and we're best friends first. Still are. He's still very much my best friend. Mm-hmm. And so we just kind of built it up as girl best friend, guy best friend. And we were definitely the type of friends who weren't scared to be affectionate towards each other. We gave each other hugs. We cuddled with each other. But let me make this known, I cuddle with all of my friends. Like my female friends and my male friends. Although not as much male friends now for obvious reasons. But like my female friends, I'm going to be cuddled up like because that's my best friend. I'm going to be cuddled up with my friends. Because some of us need that for our nervous system. A lot of the times we would, do the normal and play video games. I'd watch them play Tekken and Mortal Kombat and talk about anime. And so a lot of the first beginnings of us was just being friends and hanging out, going to, if you're from the Kansas City area or Independence area, we were always up on the Independence Square Friday nights.
Oh man.
Just hanging out. Just hanging out on the courthouse steps, being little teenagers, just literally just sitting there most of the time. We weren't, at least when I was there, we weren't smoking or nothing.
Or at least Santa Calagon was war flashbacks.
Santa Calagon, definitely. If you're from Kansas City and Independence, you know exactly what Santa Calagon is. For my husband, how do you remember the early years of us becoming friends? What was your POV?
All I remember was like constantly gravitating towards you or my best friend.
This is fair.
Well, gravitating towards my best friends.
Yeah. And we also spent a lot of time at Mid-Continent Library in Independence too, by McCoy Park.
I have a YouTube video that's very cringy where a lot of it was filmed at said Mid-Continent Library.
If you're...
Don't know how we did not get kicked out of the library.
I don't either. He showed me these videos and I'm just like, how in the world did you not get
so
kicked
cringe,
out?
but I'll probably end up showing some of it with faces blurred just to keep people's identities.
And if you're FBI enough, you'll easily find it.
But I'll probably show that on my actual channel just to show that I have been on YouTube.
We're clipping some of it in here. For sure.
Yeah, you do that crazy disco.
Yeah. But anyways, continue. Was that all you had to say about us just gravitating towards each other? And so once I hit freshman year, I went to William Chrisman. Gross. I'm sorry, I never liked Chrisman. So let's fast forward to our high school years. He's already in high school. My brother's already in high school.
I'm pretty sure we were sophomores.
I don't remember what grade y'all were. We were in high school and...
No, we were juniors.
Squirrel. See? He's filling in the blanks for me. Of course, I was turning 16. I remember this vividly. I was turning 16 and me and him were talking. We were all hanging out in my living room. That's where we tended to be, was either our bedroom, me and my brother's bedroom, or the living room when my parents weren't home. And I told him, I was like, hey, I want my sweet 16 birthday present. I was like, I want a kiss from you as a birthday present. And this is my favorite memory to tell because it's literally the funniest thing. It's such a teenage boy thing that he did. And so him and my brother were playing video games. And he was hungry. And he was like, hey, if you go make me some hot dogs, I'll give you your kiss early. And I was like, say less. So I made him some hot dogs and I got my kiss early. And then from then on, I was like, I'm so in love with this boy. So we dated. At least this is my perspective. He's probably going to tell you a completely different story. But we dated for a week in high school. A week.
Yeah, I remember that.
And we broke up and I wanted to burn this hoodie that he gave me. Did I end up burning it?
You told me you burnt it.
I think I ended up burning it. So I was that kind of girl, yeah. But I'll have to insert some pictures from even before this, because yeah, no, I was in high school when we took the picture I'm thinking of. It was my brother Elijah actually took this picture, and we weren't even together. I'm pretty sure I was on the phone with the person I was talking to while we took that picture. But I'll put it somewhere on the screen. Here, point to a random place. It'll be right here. And so our picture, there will be, we kind of went fishing for more pictures from when we weren't together, but together as people. And we found a few. My best friend Kaylee, I love you. She found this picture that I love of us. Apparently I was doing his hair in this picture. But now I think I was still a freshman when I started dating my high school boyfriend, who was not him, obviously. And he and I were on and off all 4 years of high school. And he severely screwed me over and screwed me up. And so we're not going to get into those details. If you want to hear any of that, it'll be in my testimony on my personal channel. I don't feel like dragging that up here. So, by the time I was a senior, like I said, I graduated in 2016. And so, by that time, I was like not dating anybody.
And at that time, I was in somewhat serious relationship with somebody I'm not going to name.
We'll come up with names. Her name was Brooke. Her name was Brooke. So if you want to talk about her, just say Brooke.
I was invited to her graduation. Brooke knew that she was my best friend, my female best friend. So Brooke was jealous. And that relationship turned very toxic very quick.
Let's mention why she was jealous, though. Not just because I was his best friend. She knew. It's not like we exactly hid our feelings when we were together. So I ended up graduating. I was done with my classes first in my class, which is crazy because I was so stressed that I wasn't going to finish on time. So I'm out of high school. We're going to have to fast forward just a bit because through here, me and him are still just friends. Because through that time, when I was out of school, we weren't together. We were still friends.
We tried back in 17.
I don't remember that. He's going to have to explain that part.
Yeah, well, I only remember the beginning part because we did try to start a relationship, but around that time my mom had passed.
Oh, yeah.
And that completely wrecked me.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, it still affects me pretty hard to this day. It's been almost 9 years.
I remember what he's talking about now. I have a fish brain. I'm literally Dory from Finding Nemo. So, I really hope my dad doesn't watch this video because I'm not leaving anything out. So back in 2017, actually, let me rewind just a bit more. When we were teenagers, we made the infamous best friend pact, and I know y'all know what I'm talking about. It's that if we're not married by like 35, we're getting together and getting married. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That was the plan. So that in mind, we were always with each other. So fast forward to 2017, like he said, this was a little bit 2017, a little bit 2019 as well. No, 2018 technically. It's a little bit of all three. So at this time, I was still a virgin. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm 20. I really hope none of my family members watch this video. It's okay. It's all right. We're humans. I came to him and I was like, hey, I trust you. You've been in my life for like ever. And so like we made this pact on he was going to be the one to remove my virginity. My V card, as me and my friends used to call it. And so we planned on that. Did not work out that way because of me. But we had a pact back then. And then again, Kaylee, love you to death. And then my brother Isaiah at the time when we were going along with said pact, with the vibes of that pact, where they sat him down and was like, what are you doing? Why aren't you together? She's always around you. So that obviously set off something in his brain to be like, I want her. He wanted me to begin with, to be fair. But
this is 2018.
Yeah.
At this point.
At 2018 into 2019, the 2 years kind of blurred for many, many reasons. But I was not looking for a relationship during this time. So, come 2019, it's the worst year of my life thus far, besides recent year. And my parents split. And he's obviously still dealing with the loss of his mom. And he's trying to keep himself above water. And like me being me, I'm just like, I
am under the water. Please help.
And I can't keep both of us above water right now because neither of us are mentally okay enough to handle a relationship. So I'm just like, hey, I can't do this. And he's like, okay, well, whatever. I'm still going to be here for you because he's my best friend. And so that whole summer, I'm just like not myself at all. And of course, during that time, I have one night stands, which again is not me at all, if you know me. And so after that, we get to 2020. And we all know what happens in 2020. COVID. COVID happened. At this point, me and my brothers and him are all living with my other brother, his wife, and his daughters. And it was all pretty much a really packed house. And so at the time, again, I'm not looking for a relationship. I'm very much numb to the feeling, not to quote Chase Atlantic. But me and him were just not. He, for a minute there, didn't even act like I existed for a reason. I was terrible to this man. We're not going to go into anything that I've actually said to him during this, though. That's just rude and not friendly for YouTube. And so I do vividly remember him giving me this bracelet, though. He had one. And when he gave it to me, he said, no matter where you go, I'm going to be there for you. And that was our pact over this bracelet. And we just found it today while getting organized for this video. But throughout the video, I'll just be randomly popping up pictures of us throughout our timeline together. There's a picture that's funny enough, close to what I was just talking about. It's December 2020 now for us. And I'm actually letting myself feel emotions after a year of just not giving two craps about people. And I'm sitting there listening to music, and I call him to like come talk to me, because even still, he's my best friend, so I vent to him a lot. And so I was just like, what are we doing? I was one of those girls, like, what are we? Not really. I don't think I said, what are we, did I?
I think I was the one that...
I think he may have been the one to go the female route. Be like, what are we? Which is not a bad thing. I like making fun.
Because if I remember correctly, it was like before we actually like fully got back together. It was that night that we all were drinking, and I literally stayed with you the entire night to make sure you were okay.
You want to tell him about that night?
No, you can go ahead and do that.
I don't remember. I'll tell you my half. He'll have to continue on the rest of the story. So, it is... What year?
It was 2020.
It was 2020. I just reunited with my best friend Kyla after years of not seeing her. And newsflash, she is with my brother Elijah. We still each other's best friends. It's fair. And so we ended up having a big, when I say big bottle of rosé, it was like this big and this round. Don't know what crossed his mind to get us a big bottle like that, but it happened. And then other people ended up showing up with gin and whiskey, I think. I did the wrong thing in mixing light with dark. Let me just say that. That's all you need to know. And so I was ending up drinking wine and darks. And if I didn't learn from the first time of doing that, it is not for me. I can't handle that. I black out like this. So from this point on, I have to give it to him because I remember nothing.
She pretty much got blackout drunk to the point where she acted very abnormal.
This, if you ask anyone who was there that night, my best friend, my brothers, it's called my demon side. Continue. But truth also came out that night.
And at that point, everybody was trying to console her. I was up front, literally getting sick.
Because to be fair, all of us were drinking. I just took it too far.
And I guess somebody came out and told me that she was asking for me.
You have to tell them what I was saying.
I don't remember exactly what she was saying.
So from what I was told, this is my favorite part of the story from what I was being told. So I think the saying goes, don't quote me on it, drunk thoughts are like sober thoughts. They're not lies, so the truth comes out basically. And so when I was blackout drunk, crying over a boy we'll call Sasuke. Yep.
Why'd you choose that name?
Because he's right there. And so Sasuke was somebody I had dated on the internet and never really met in real life because he wouldn't come here. And so he had really broken my heart because I had really, really liked him. I thought we had what everyone was getting hyped about, like a soul tie, because I'm a flower child and I thought we were like soulmates. And so by the end of the night, I was saying, where's my man? Not talking about Sasuke. I was talking about this one. So, continue. That's what I kept saying. Asking for him is what I was saying is, where's my man?
I was trying my best to console her. There wasn't much that we could do. She got help to the bathroom. She took a shower. Went to her room.
I think the
and
only...
I was asked to
stay with me.
To watch over her.
Yeah.
For the night. And then...
I think the only thing I remember from coming to, from being blackout drunk, is someone was feeding me a slice of bread. I don't know if it was him or somebody else, but someone was literally like feeding me a piece of bread to try to soak up the alcohol. And then I passed out. And then the next morning, he was already out of bed, obviously. And my best friend and I ended up ordering Wendy's. And we got Wendy's nugs and a Frosty. And we watched Hamilton. Hungover. But
I should have had to go to work that day.
yeah, I think you went to work hungover.
Yeah.
So after that is when this conversation happened between us that we were talking about before, where I was just kind of like, what are we doing? Because there's always been this thing. We like to call it our annoying fly, that we're each other's annoying fly. And let me explain the analogy on this one. You're at a picnic, right? Outside. It's a very sunny spring day, and you have a fly that just won't leave you alone. It's just flying around your head, in your ears. Just that was us for each other. Like, to the point I had that engraved on his wedding ring that he lost somewhere at work. It got thrown away. We always had this thing of gravitating towards each other, and ended up trying many times to make our relationship work until December 20th, 2020, which is our official get back together date. So we got back together, and January 20th, I have this picture. I love him so much. He let me do his makeup because I had gotten like Jeffree Star makeup, and I wanted to use it on somebody that wasn't myself. So he let me do his makeup. I'm going to post that right here over his face. This is it. I was pretty proud of it, not gonna lie. And so that picture was exactly a month after we had gotten back together. And throughout the video, you're gonna see some more pictures of us, like in
Wasn't that the same time I got my sword in the mail?
I think so.
Yeah, because I was very excited about it.
And
I still have
so
it to this day.
To this day! To this
we got back
day!
together, and I think, I don't know, you'll have to remind me how long we were together before you proposed.
It was over a year.
So a year goes by. And we're together, peanut butter and jelly, just, you know, what they call in the beginning stages puppy love. Which never goes away, especially if you start out as friends, because I'm still, like, equally obsessed with this man. We have our moments, I'm sure, but, like... But we ended up a year later. It's Christmas time. I actually have a picture of our first Thanksgiving together. You're going to see a lot of hair colors. Don't judge me. I have a problem. But here's our picture from our first Thanksgiving together. And I had bangs. Again, do not judge me. It was COVID, okay? And so a year goes by, and it's Thanksgiving, Christmas, Halloween time. And it's Christmas Day. I have a picture of all four of us, me, Kyla, and my brother, before we head out to his family's house for Christmas. Everyone, I should have known, first of all, vibes were off. Just to begin with, my best friend's just over here like, we're not even in the Uber to his family's house yet, and she's just cheesing at me. I was like, what is going on? Oh, and then we're in the car. Me and him, I think we're in the back seat, and my brother and her are in the two front seats, like two front middle seats. And again, she's turning around, cheesing at me. I was like, you're freaking me out. What's going on? He's cool as a breeze over there. I'm sure on the inside he was freaking out, but like, I look over and he's just like, I don't know. Can't tell you.
I was ready to do it.
But, so we get to his auntie's house. And his family's there, our sister's there. And we're all just talking, getting ready to eat at this point. And he just drops out of nowhere on his knee. And I can insert the video. He likes to have it.
Oh,
and he proposes to me on Christmas. I think we talked about it years ago that I wanted to be proposed to on Christmas because it's just cute. It's my favorite holiday. And so he proposed. Of course I said yes, because I'm just like, it may be a year in, but we've been in the making for like 11 years. Like, literally on our 3-month anniversary, I literally gave him a card.
I still have that.
We should have pulled it out for this. But on the card itself, like on the envelope, I said, 3 months, aka 10 years. Because that's how long we've been playing cat and mouse with each other. Mostly me. 99% me. Nah, 98, because 2% was definitely him after he lost his mom, but fair. Fair. So, we're engaged and we immediately start planning rapid fire ideas of what we're going to do for our wedding ceremony. Because, like, I'm a girl. First of all, I've had my wedding planned in my head for forever. Forever. And so, first idea, which I think we're going to do to renew our vows, was a Halloween themed wedding. And we were going to have it to where people would come dressed as whatever they want. Whatever they want. And so we ended up doing that because I would have taken too long to plan, and I wasn't waiting that long to marry him because I waited long enough in my mind. So we just did the normal semi, if not 99% traditional wedding of just like small family gathering of friends and family at our church, well, our old church. And my therapist slash preacher married us and actually paid for the rest of our wedding. So again, Roger, thank you. We love you. We ended up just doing, again, a small wedding, and we did a candle ceremony. I'll definitely insert some pictures of the day of like me getting ready, him getting ready. Again, we didn't see each other the night before the wedding because we are Christians, and that's something that Christians do. You don't see the bride before the wedding. You separate. I ended up staying with my dad and his girlfriend at the time, and he ended up staying at home with the boys, we like to say. And so we ended up getting married April 23rd, right? Mm-hmm. 2022. So literally like just a year later of us getting back together. I was like, when you know, you know. You feel me? And so we've been together
2 years, 9 months, and 13 days.
We have this app.
In other words, 33 months, or 145 weeks, or 1,019 days.
Show the camera. We have this app, and I have one for when we got together, and he obviously has our wedding anniversary. Right. I know. We'll probably insert a picture of it as well. But yeah, that's pretty much our story. It was a lot of back and forth for me, and then back and forth for him, and then we just said, you know what, screw it. Thankfully, it hasn't been easy. Marriage is not easy. I need you to understand this. I need you on the other side of this phone to know marriage is not easy, especially when you're trying to do a Christ-centered marriage.
But it is beautiful.
It is very beautiful. I will say, just like I saw this TikTok and I love it, when you're supposed to be sanctified between you and another person and Christ in the middle, it's not going to be an easy road. So
you got the enemy always there.
You already know the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. And especially when it comes to people being married, he doesn't want union, especially under Christ. So all glory to God for keeping us this far and getting us through our infertility battle. Still not pregnant, but we believe that God is going to bring us through this, because if he can do it for all the women in the Bible back in the day, I have full faith that he can do it for me. So, but that's our story. That's how we met. That's how we've gotten to be the Morels, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Yeah, our story's a little rocky and we scroll a lot, but this is my husband. And I still love to call him husband because it's still shocking to me as someone I used to say I'm never getting married.
I talk about my wife all day at work.
And just like, I know you see his shirt. I know you see his shirt.
How about those Chiefs?
And with that, that's the end of our video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want more story times from just funny stories about us, or if you want to see us with our best friends and family,
next week we are going to be doing a double date Valentine's video.
Valentine's, very pink and girly. And so give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already. Click that subscribe button.
and ring that notification bell.
And we'll see you guys in the next video.
Love you.